Hello, YouTubers of awesomeness. Welcome to my channel again. Tiger Rose rides and loving every minute of it. You see me at the moment going past Waterhouse Hospital. I'm on my way just basically anywhere, but I'll go along the coast road. I'm literally just out for a bit of footage. I went out this morning, but unfortunately got caught in the streaming rain. I mean, it was torrent, so that went to waste. The lens was completely covered in water. The voice, because it was so windy, my recording was completely shot. So I'm trying again this afternoon. It's Sunday at the moment. Just to get some footage and see me into the video so I can get on with the history and the motorbike. Now, what is the history this week? The history this week is going to be Fort Nelson. I was very fortunate to get to Fort Nelson on Friday and have a good wander around. Now, without giving too much away, I managed to get my bike inside with kind permission, and as such, I got some great photo with me and the bike, my bike, and the artillery pieces that are in display there. Great. The bike, I think this is a bit of a challenge from one of the commenters on my last vlog to do the Sun motor company or motorcycle company. So I'm currently researching that to get as much information from it as I can, or on it as I can, to give you the history of the Sun Motorcycle Company. And what I've read of it so far is a bit of an eye-opener. They were quite prolific in the time that they were alive in production. So hopefully it'll be very interesting for you. So I'm just going to have a little ride for now along the coast, along the south coast here by the Solent. And once I get out of Stubbington, we'll go silent, or once I get to Stubbington, I'll go silent, which is probably a good thing. And I'll go silent, that's it. And that'll give me a chance to do some history and motorbike service at the top of the video. So I'll see you back here in a bit. Before I start this history segment on Fort Nelson, I'd like to give a heartfelt thank you to the manager of the museum, Kelly. Kelly allowed me to take my classic 350 inside the fort to take pictures. She and her staff really couldn't have done any more to help accommodate me, so thank you, Kelly, and to your staff. On an area that covers 19 acres of the south of England stands one of the greatest feats of engineering, design, and construction ever undertaken. Atop Portsdown Hill, above Victorian Portsmouth, the construction of Fort Nelson started in 1861 and lasted 10 years to build. In conjunction with Fort Widley, which is now a stables, Fort Southwick, now an NHS facility, and 16 other forts and fortifications in the area, Fort Nelson has been restored to most of its former glory and is testament to the ingenuity of the designers, navvies and soldiers that built and manned it. Incredibly, each day the navvies would shovel 20 tons of earth each, and other labourers would build walls that were built with flint and locally made brick.
long and laborious work that these days would almost be impossible to imagine even attempting. Originally built to defend the coast of England from an invasion by France, the ramparts which faced away from the coast covered much of the South Downs with artillery pieces that were the best in their day. Manned by units from artillery and probably infantry, the fort held enough weaponry to protect from the invasion by the worst threat the French could muster. However, the French invasion never happened, but the fort still had a purpose during the First and Second World Wars in defending the coast and surrounding areas. Even before you go inside, the sheer majesty of the building and grounds is breathtaking. And although it's not everyone's taste, as an old soldier of 36 years' service, I can assure you it took my breath away. Displayed on the front lawn and visible from the front road is a massive 14-inch naval gun and a huge Mallet's mortar and shell and balls. There's no entrance fee, and they boast a nice cafe and gift shop in the entrance lobby. From then on in, you're immersed in the experience and are free to walk around as you feel fit. Once you're inside, you're aware of the colossal weaponry that was housed in the fort, and you have to wonder how on earth they got some of it in there. One of the first things you come across is the huge wall-buster cannon, so big that it had to be unscrewed in the middle section to make it ready for firing, and then screwed back together again to fire it. Then as you move through the indoors displays, you see how much weaponry and tunnels and parts of the building that it is hard to take it all in. I got as many photos as I could with my bike in the grounds, but once I had enough and went solo around the various wonderful exhibits, I became totally immersed in the experience. In the short time I have on this video, there's no way I could give you a full picture of Fort Nelson. It really is a place you would need to come and see for yourself. It would be stuck in your memory for a long time, and during and after your visit, you would probably use the word awesome more than you have ever or ever will again. I will be back with my grandchildren, whether they want to or not, so I can spend a fuller day there. So that's the history bit for this week. I would love to have been able to put more in, but that's as much as I can do in the time I've got. I enjoyed doing it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. This week's motorcycle segment is going to be about Sun Motorcycles. Now, the Sun Motorcycle Company started life as the James Parks and Son Brass Foundry, making, among other things, incandescent lamps, which is where the Sun brand name came from. Then later, as bicycles became popular, they manufactured cycle fittings, and in 1907 they formed the limited liability company known as the Sun Cycle and Fittings Company. They produced their bicycles alongside the production of complete motorcycles, which started around about 1911-1912. Sun were also prolific manufacturers of parts for other UK and overseas motorcycle companies, the latter of which would rebrand Sun products with a local name, and some examples of this are Solar in New Zealand, Burgers and Vitesse in New Rapid in the Netherlands, EWB, don't ask me what that means, in Australia, and Copenhagen in Denmark, and MT in Austria, to name but a few. In 1913, saw the introduction of the first Villiers-powered two-stroke model, a relationship that continued through to when they stopped producing in 1959. After World War I, they utilised Vitesse rotary valve and two-strokes and Villiers engines, as well as larger Jap and Blackburn units. And through the First World War, motorcycle manufacturing slowed so they could concentrate most of their efforts on the new valveless two-stroke or VTS engine. Following the acquisition of the valveless two-stroke company, these were advanced single-cylinder two-stroke engines of 269cc with an excellent performance. First introduced in 1916 alongside the Villiers and Jap models, initially these VTS engine machines were largely exported to such places as Portugal and Australia, until war work ended production at the end of the following year. Production of the engine started again in 1920, with a changed layout and a model name change from Sun VTS to Sun Vitesse. The previously vertical engine was inclined forwards, and the flat tank variation gave way to the triangular tank. Again, motorcycle production lapsed between about the outbreak of the Second World War, after which 98cc and 225cc Villiers-powered machines were produced, including the Sun Wasp scooter with a 173cc engine which propelled it up to 50 miles an hour. This redesign coincided with the introduction of the more advanced 247cc rotary valve sports version and the Vitesse, of which two competed in the 1921 Tourist Trophy on the Isle of Man, doing very well with 9th and 10th place in the junior 350cc event. This encouraged an entry in the new 250cc lightweight class in 1922, but the over-lightening of the engine components gave rise to excessive vibration, which caused the fuel lines to fracture. Nevertheless, Gus Kuhn and L.J. Lord finished in 12th and 13th places, after wrapping handkerchiefs around the fuel pipes to staunch the leaking. This lack of success ended Sun's involvement in racing, but the models continued, and a rotary valve Vitesse lapped Brooklands at over 70 miles an hour in the hands of K. Don. The brand name was eventually acquired by Raleigh Industries, who continued to use Sun name for the Sun Wasp scooter, and that was just postscript to nearly 50 years of successful motorcycle production. Final production of the Sun name bikes ceased in 1959, and the company now remains just as pages in the history books. I have a question for those that live or have lived in Gosport, on Haslar, or in Haslar, I should say, on Fort Road at the junction of Military Road. There is this, whatever it is, I have no idea what it is. It's got a door on it. Does it lead somewhere underneath the bush, the trees and everything? I don't know. Does anyone know what it is? Can you please tell me? It's driving me bonkers. I've had a query from at Tommy Atkins on here. He's asking me where or what it is that I wear when I'm riding. I'll put the links just below for the eBay location. But the trousers are from Motrox Limited. They're motorcycle jeans with armour, stretch, Kevlar lining, and they're really good. They're not at all waterproof, I can promise you that from yesterday's experience, but they are good trousers. I love them. The jacket is Australian Biker's Trailmaster leather waxed jacket. Be cautious. Do order 2 sizes bigger than you need. I ordered my extra large, and it wouldn't go anywhere near me. I've got double extra large, and that fits quite nicely.
Well, the rain is coming back down, so I'm going to sign off here. Hopefully I've got enough footage to see me through. And I will catch you on the next one. Ride safe, be safe, and enjoy. Till then, bye-bye.